For a lot of people, downsizing from the large family home to a more manageable space is a total game changer when it comes to achieving a more stress-free and peaceful, fulfilling life. So in this video, we're going to be diving into the top 10 benefits of downsizing here in Chicago. My name is Tony Angelos. I'm a real estate broker here in Chicago. And if you're new to my channel, we cover all this stuff, all things related to Chicago, food, where to go, what to do, etc. So if that's your jam, consider subscribing to this channel. So without further ado, let's kick it off with number one. One of the most significant advantages is going to be your lower cost of living. Whether you're downsizing to an apartment or a smaller home, a smaller space is generally going to cost a lot less in terms of maintenance, overall expenditures, just in every aspect of ownership or living there, it's going to cost less. You're going to have lower tax bills, lower maintenance costs, lower utility bills, just everything is going to be less. With the reduced costs, you can set aside some of that money that you would have been spending otherwise and put it towards other things that you want to do, like traveling, spending time with your children or grandchildren, or just getting into a new hobby. Moving on to number two, we're going to be talking about your extra money. Chances are you may have sold a primary residence that you may have lived in for a long time. It might have been your family home. You just don't need the space anymore. With all that, the money can be used to supplement retirement income, fund vacations that you've wanted to take for your whole life, or just give you more freedom to go try new restaurants that you might have just been hesitant to try otherwise. Moving on to number three, less maintenance and less upkeep. One of the big perks about apartment living is there is generally zero maintenance. Even if you're in a condo facility that has an HOA, typically the HOA is going to cover all things related to the upkeep of the unit. In many of our large high-rise buildings, the maintenance department of each building is going to be the one taking care of hot water issues, electrical issues, HVAC issues. They're going to be the ones that are dealing with everything. So it's a much more easygoing pace of life. Number four is going to be better access to amenities. A lot of the buildings that we have here in Chicago have state-of-the-art fitness centers, close proximity to grocery stores, pools, and all sorts of other things. In fact, if you move to a place like One Chicago, which I'll link down below in the description, they have a Lifetime and a Whole Foods in the same building. I mean, what more could you ask for? Having so much access to so many great amenities gives you a lot of opportunities to get involved with new people, make new friends, do new things, and just kind of feel the vibrance of the city. If you're enjoying the video so far, do me a favor, hit a thumbs up, it'd mean the world to me. Moving on to number five, access to services that you wouldn't have just at a normal house. Many of the buildings here in Chicago have a lot of services within the building. Whether it's a dry cleaner, most have 24/7 security, a package room, a dedicated package room to let you know when your packages are delivered. Many of the buildings have bodegas within the building, so you could do quick grocery shopping, or if you just need to grab something, it's right there. Several have hair salons or all sorts of extra services and businesses that make your life just easier. Moving on to number six, mobility, walkability, access to things. If you choose a location within Chicago that's kind of centrally located, somewhere in the near north area, you're going to have easy access to pretty much anything you need. There are several public transportation lines that are going to run north and south or west, anywhere really, northwest. You're going to have really close proximity to any of those lines that are going to be able to get you around the city quickly and affordably. If you do end up living in one of the centrally located neighborhoods of Chicago, you're really going to be walking distance from tons of restaurants, parks, the lakefront, bike trails, walking paths, etc. So when it comes to accessibility, there are very few places, probably in the entire country, that are as accessible as some of these neighborhoods here in Chicago. If you're looking for good ideas for neighborhoods or just want to explore some new ones, I'm going to link a video right here of my top 5 neighborhoods that you could watch. Moving on to number 7, just reduced stress that comes with owning a home. This kind of ties into the second one, but let's be honest. How many times have things broken in the house and just one thing after the next? It's always something. The bigger the house, the more things are to break. And with that brings us to number 8, which is just an improved quality of life. With all the access that being in Chicago brings you, removing some of those maintenance items, giving yourself more money by getting rid of all those extra expenses, you are going to be centrally located in one of the greatest cities on the planet with so much to do. You're just going to feel your energy levels just rising day after day. There's no better feeling than waking up in the morning and watching the sun rise over the lake. Can't beat it. Moving on to number 9, you're going to have the opportunity to get a place that's going to really suit your current lifestyle. How many rooms in your house do you just not use or have not gone into even for like the past 5 years? Probably a couple. This is a new opportunity for you to find a space that really reflects where you are in your life today and the space that you need. And it'll give you an opportunity to curate that space to exactly how you want it. I'm going to post another video about things to consider when you're transitioning from house living to an apartment, because there are things to consider. Before we get to the last point though, do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It'd mean the world to me. And if you're thinking about moving in Chicago and you want to talk about different apartment buildings and what they offer, my contact information is down below. All right, and number 10, the most important one, social spaces. It has been proven and time again that it's not your diet or how much you drink or how much you smoke or any of those other things that determine how long and how well you're going to live. It is social interaction and social integration. Community is the lifeblood of who we are as people. Even if you don't like people, you need to be around people. A lot of apartment buildings and condo complexes in Chicago try and build that sense of community. They do things, whether it's a building Christmas party or some of them have free coffee for all their residents or game rooms or movie nights or whatever, pool parties. Some of these professionally managed buildings put a lot of effort into creating that community experience so that the residents are happy, they want to stay there, and they become friends with each other. Downsizing from a singular house to a community like that gives you opportunity to build new friendships, get involved in things you might have wanted to get involved in for a long time, and just kind of give you a fresh start. So if you're watching this video, you're probably starting to think about whether or not you actually want to downsize, because it's a big decision and it takes a long time. Leaving the family home and switching to a more manageable and comfortable living space is a big deal, but it's one that ultimately a lot of people are really happy with. So from putting you in a better financial position to ultimately getting you involved in more activities and hobbies and things that are exciting to you and fill you up with energy, there's so many benefits that you could consider and think about when downsizing. At the end of the day, all of us grow out of the houses that we're in. The single guy grows out of the one-bedroom apartment, and the family whose kids have left to go to college grow out of the large house. Either way, this is a new chapter, and I want to be there to help you get to that point. So if you are at that point already or thinking about it, my contact information is down below. I'd love to talk to you. No strings attached. It is my job to help people move. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. My name is Tony Angelos. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.